Hey everyone, today we're getting wild with it again. This is the Wild Faint pack. I call it the FaintFrenzy pack. When I create these wild packs, what I do is I filter by that type of pet. So in this case, I filter by to show me all faint pets, and I pick every pet, every perk that filters by that type, and then I unfilter it and I fill in the rest of the pack with what I see fit. So when I think of faint pets, I pretty much just get distracted by one thing only, and that thing is the praying mantis. It's the logo of the channel. It's my favorite pet, probably my most used carry pet, as far as like use it to carry your run and then try to change it up in the end, try to disguise the mantis either with a transform, a stat swap, something of that regards. The reason I'm pushing this pack out, I have one main run from the pack. My bonus clips are actually from my Metabrusk Wild pack because the runs are very, very similar. The reason I'm pushing this out rather quickly compared to the other packs I've done is because I'm working on another summon challenge. It's actually a Sneaky Brush challenge. It's called Sneaky Brush Summons. He's challenged me to basically see how many summons you can get in one run. So if you think about that, like I think about Beluga Slug, I think about what are some of the high summon, like a slime or a high statted Hydra, right? Could spit out 5 units if it's in your backline. So take a moment and try to think, what summon pets could you use to maximize your summons on a team? You think you probably want like 20 plus summons on a team, something crazy like that. So typically with that challenge, what I'm trying to do is not use the summon support pets. So no secretary bird, no turkey, no amalgamation, no Saiga antelope, none of that stuff. So it's rather difficult, but it's rather fun because some of the summon pets used are pretty incredible. So, hopping into the run here, what do we have going? It looks like we did a stat swap off of the skeleton dog onto the blackneck still. Oh no, the skeleton dog was a spider pill, right? Not paying attention, it's my fault. And take a crow over a slug. So we refuse the summon pet for a chocolate, and we take a badger. So faint pets, it's very easy to get stuck on summons. But when you think of a skeleton dog, when you think of a badger, those are not summon pets, but they are still faint pets. Really, really cool. And I have to note now, the praying mantis, it's actually a hurt pet. I was very surprised. I had to go back and look. I would think that it probably used to be a faint pet, but when they changed the ability to do 50 damage instead of KOing the pet no matter what, I would guess that would reclassify it as a hurt pet. Kind of interesting, but yeah, on the point again, when you talk about faint pets, I mean, it makes so much sense just to go mantis. So the fact that a mantis has not showed up yet is somewhat concerning, right? But that's not what I was limited to in these runs. Freeze the turtle. What are we thinking here? Probably just thinking about a turtle pill onto the badger. And it's turn 7 now, so the tier 4 pets have opened up. So kind of a perfect time to turtle pill. Cockatoo would hit the platypus, so no point in doing that really. And settle for a pair because we weren't finding a pill. But then the mantis shows up. Here comes the mantis, and yeah, if you're not finding a pill and you need a faint to pet, mantis is perfect as well. You can bring the mantis in for a couple turns. Hold that thought. We freeze a unicorn. Oh, I have no idea what I want to do in these runs. I think this was actually like my third run in the pack. I got it pretty quick. And then kind of evaluating the pack, I was like, you know what? The Badger is kind of the key. Let's not get too distracted by the Mantis. The Badger is the key to the promised land in these runs. And it gets really, really fun with the Badger, or I should say with the Badgers coming up here. So, yeah, if you're thinking, oh man, it's just another Mantis run, yeah, kind of is, but we get some fun with it with some Badgers. So there's our melon, and we got our monkey. So are we going to monkey buff Badger or Mantis? I'm guessing we're monkey buffing Badger. It looks like we're monkey buffing Mantis. In Metabrusk fashion. And yeah, toss pairs on the Badger because the Mantis is going to get crazy scaling now. And now comes the Unicorn. Unicorn Wall Chicken, another one of my favorite kind of intermediate scalers to use. I believe I had this in my Metabrusk Wild pack as well. And yeah, just trying to find some stuff to freeze. We are fainting our Blackneck Stilt, our pet that carried us in the early game. We run into a turtle pack special here. Little honey badger in the back, always scary. We'll have some of that showing up in the bonus clips. Oh my gosh, it came down to golden retriever versus honeybee. Oh my word. And it looks like we're going back Mantis with a turtle. Gonna buff our Badger a little bit. You know, I love building teams like this because we have 2 units we're invested in. And we don't really have to worry about the rest of the team at this point because these 2 units are so strong, they should carry us through. 5 trophies, 2 hearts, turn 9. Yeah, the game could go turn 15 plus easy. So the amalgamation gets frozen. And I mentioned it in my Metabrusk Wild video that came out. These were kind of extra bonus clips that, or I shouldn't say these, because this is the Wild Faint pack still. But the bonus clips that are very similar to this run, I was saving for possibly a separate video or a situation like this where I run amalgamation with Badger. And I guess I'll leave it at that for now because that's a lot of the bonus clips. So we'll kind of see what happens and what I make of this and what I was trying to do. I had a lot of hope for it, and it seemed to work out a good amount, but custom packs could be very punishing. And we freeze a rooster. So we freeze a rooster because we have amalgamation. It's a early start on the attack, but I don't know. Tough calls on what to do. Kappa, always a great unit to faint from the Mantis. So we decide to get rid of the monkey and bring in the rooster. Very interesting. But I guess at this point, I wanted another unit I could permanently keep on the team. Rooster seems to be that unit. We actually have the Quetzalcoatlus on the team, so when the Mantis faints the Quetzalcoatlus, it will provide stats to the whole team. And partly what I'm doing here and what I'm trying to show is like, I'm trying to utilize a lot of different pets. I know it's just a Mantis run, but like, a lot of things are happening here in this run. And we're utilizing a lot of the faint pets that I might not usually utilize in a typical Mantis run. And this should be a great example of it. Cockatoo's going to use an amalgamation trigger. Not too sure I want to do that. If I pill the Kappa, it's just going to use an amalgamation trigger. I'm surprised I didn't take the fire ant there. The fire ant, I guess because it could hit the amalgamation or the rooster. But I figured the fire ant onto the rooster is a really, really good option. But mammoth is probably just better. So in comes the mammoth. And it's a little peanut butter on the whale. That was cool. And yeah, it's a summon team with a level 1 turkey. So luckily we can force the draw and keep the run alive. That was very scary. The run almost died there. So amalgamation, I don't think there's a point to go separate. And I guess you do go separate. Trigger reset? I did not go with trigger reset. That's quite unfortunate. Luckily, we just happened to roll into the level up, so that really worked out. There's a Spinosaurus, probably one of the best things you can have with a Mantis team, but I decided not to freeze the Spinosaurus and maybe freeze the Quetzalcoatlus. But yeah, we're just gonna send it. Quetzalcoatlus is good, but a Mammoth is essentially twice as good. So at this point, might as well roll for Mammoths or stuff that's better. And the Mammoth Mantis, you just can't get away from it. It's just way too good. Shout out the one weekly brawl I played in. It was the final weekly brawl. I think they're random packs, right? And it was a Mantis pack, and there was not a lot of scaling in the pack. And the meta line was Mantis with Pteranodon and Mammoth. So the Mantis would faint the Mammoth, and then the Pteranodon would resummon the Mammoth. So you can have an endless cycle of Mammoths. Then you could try to level that Mammoth to level 2 and faint a level 2 Mammoth every turn. I was in first place in the weekly brawl for a while. I was the only one with all my hearts left. Call it a flawless or whatever you want to a certain point. The only problem is, not only did I recognize the meta line a little bit late, so I would have been late to pivoting to it. The other problem was I didn't even have the chance to pivot to it because I couldn't find a Mammoth for like 10 turns. So it's pretty brutal. On that note, look at this Warthog feint. All the stats, absolutely beautiful. And what else can we get going here? There's the Fire Ant. I knew it was going to come in at a certain point. And we decided to get rid of some more of these spooks. So it's kind of the goal when you get the amalgamation is to try to survive. And then once you replace the spooks with a good equipment, your team should really, really take off. And I think we need this Rooster level 2 to use both of our triggers, right? On the amalgamation. I guess we use one every turn on the pet that we summon in. And look at that. I was hoping that Fire Ant would hit the Rooster, and it does. So now we have a 37 attack, level 2 Rooster. Might as well bring in the Orca. Shout out the Orca if you go back to what I said about the Sneaky Brusk summon challenge at the beginning of the run. Orca. Orca, I think, is the answer. And not only is it the answer, it is the most fun summon pet. As we run into a quite sad turtle pack team, I don't know. I don't know. It's wild packs. Sometimes you run into crazy stuff. Sometimes you run into stuff that's slightly weaker. So let's hop into the bonus clips. This is, like I said, the Metabrusk Wild pack, but it will look very similar. Same, but different. Shout out the interview. So happy when people catch some of those references. Oh man. And yeah, it's Unicorn Badger amalgamation. So looks like we have the Alpaca. We're getting a level 3 amalgamation. Amazing. Not taking the level up, which is interesting considering how much gold we have still on this turn. And it's turn 14. So this team does not seem that strong for turn 14. The only saving grace is we have Big Badger. The only problem is Big Badger has no equipment, no melon armor. Quite unfortunate. And we decide to just put a Badger in behind it. And look at that. Just out of nowhere, we get a 20 attack, 7 health, 12 mana Badger. Absolutely devastating. I probably should have had the level 2 amalgamation in between the Badgers, so the Badger didn't just faint itself. But this is what I was going for. I wanted the Badger chain, super fun. Unfortunately, they had a Hydra. So that's... yeah, the summons are kind of tough when you try this whole explosion of stats. And we're on 9 trophies, so we only need one more win. But if you start losing and drawing when you're on a good run, it's only going to get more dangerous in the wild packs. And we face one of the mortal enemies here. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you know, you know. If you play custom packs a lot, it's good to see them in wild packs, I guess. And look at this. Oh my word. I mean, honestly, I'm happy to see this in wild packs. I wish there was a way to prevent this from happening in normal packs. That's a lot of discussions I've had with people lately. But look at the Badger chain. It actually kind of pops off. Is there... And then the double amalgamation. And we get the draw. I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. So the reason I left these clips out of my previous Metabrusk Wild video is I wanted to go double Badger, double amalgamation, double mushroom. So the 2 Badgers that spawned get the amalgamation buffs and can hopefully just go crazy with it. Now I should have planned it a little bit better. I should have put something in between the Badgers, right? I don't think the unicorn is necessary, especially considering it's just summons that are getting the unicorn buffs. They're probably just going to get one shot anyway. And unfortunately, we face a snipe team that snipes our entire backline, including our second position Badger, which makes it faint our front Badger, which makes us lose the run. Moving on. So I kind of corrected some mistakes in that previous run with this run. Now we have our 2 big Badgers. Unfortunately, no amalgamations, I don't think really showed up early, so I decided just to go with the scaling and have fun the OG way with some Badgers. So we have front Badger with melon, back Badger with honey. I love doing this combo. It's like, no matter what, you can't escape the Badger. Get Badgered, don't F with the honey Badger. The honey Badger has 0 Fs to give. Like, it just doesn't care. The honey Badger, it will seek and destroy, and it doesn't matter how much pain, how much scraping and clawing you do back to it. It's gonna win. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up like honey badger videos on YouTube or something, like actual legit videos. There was a meme one I was kind of referencing there, but the honey badger is just such an impressive animal. Oh my gosh, it's terrifying. So yeah, just showing some clips here of this run. Now we have 4 Badgers, and it's 9 trophies, 3 hearts. So again, I'm trying to have fun, trying to do things, and look at this. It's 5 Badgers. Typically, when you see 5 Badgers, it'll be 5 50-50 Badgers that'll all just create this big faint chain, and it's part of the infinite draw team. If you have a honey pot in the back, you're obviously not going for the infinite draw. But yeah, this team, I mean, look at this. It's so close to the draw. We're just barely not eking out the wins. That honey pot should give us the win in a lot of these. And I'm putting the weak Badgers in the middle to act as that break so that my back Badgers can have a chance to attack. And you see that I have the 20 attack level 2 Badger in 4th position so that the back Badger will still get a chance to attack after it faints. Everything here is very intentional to try to give myself the best chance to succeed. And you see here 5 gold left. It's kind of the perfect buy sell. And get the last Badger going, and I figured, you know what, we'll throw one on the 1.5 Badger in the middle so it hopefully will survive. Just kind of trying to min-max so everything has a chance to survive as long as we don't get disrupted. And what do you know, skunk, mantis shrimp, octopus, they're all level 1, so it's not that scary. The scarier thing is the fact that they have absolutely scaled to the moon, and they have no scalers left on their team. All the pets are level 1. That's a shop scaled team. It's shop scaling, and yeah, it's wild packs, so that's expected. You know, they got to 9 trophies, 1 heart, they pivoted the whole team. That's what you do. So, touche. So now we are going to ride off into the sunset. This is just a kind of a normal run from the Metabrusk Wild pack, having some fun with it. It's one of those high rolls that I got. You see I get the early cat, the cotton candies there, level 2 clownfish, one of my favorite. So I kind of go with the test of strength of the team. Let's try to win with no perks, just big stats, go smash. We're in wild pack, so I'm having fun with it. I like seeing all the stats flying, and with all that being said, if you hung around this long, I really do appreciate it. Got a lot of other videos in the works. It's been nice kind of not worrying about grinding out videos to come out with every day, kind of spending weeks on videos. So yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.
Sleep, yeah. Only miss you when I'm breathing in too deep, yeah. Am I just your little secret? I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Waiting patient on the shoreline. Now you're leaving, but I know you got your reasons too. I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal